The biggest story over the past few weeks has been the devastation left by the storm of the century, Sandy. The Come Together impromptu concert helped raise over $1 million in Red Cross services and supplies. And that's the power of music. It consoles, it inspires, and it heals. Weeks before Sandy hit our shores, Crystal Rosa found a unique choir that inspires. And at first glance, we'll have you saying, how'd they do that? Here's how.
Choir is us, is a community, is a group, is interconnection.
A 12-headed disembodied creature has been traveling around New York, engaging and capturing audiences wherever it lands. The Creature Choir is a part of Mark Bolotin's latest creation under a company he started called Sin Arcade Audiovisuals, which creates unusual, cutting-edge multimedia work.
I was really interested in finding a new way to present and play with cinema and music. I figured that in the 21st century, surely human beings and artists can present visuals and sounds in a new way.
Through the Residency Unlimited program, Mark made his way to the Bronx from Australia, where the creature was born. The program takes international artists and places them throughout different communities in New York.
I'll press a key and one of the heads will sing. So it's like I'm playing a piano, but I'm playing the heads and they actually sing different scales, different melodies. I've kind of made hundreds and hundreds of different films and emotional states that these heads can take on. So depending on the mood, depending on the song, depending on the day, they can take on all sorts of emotions and expressions.
The Creature Choir started off as a simple idea just 3 years ago. Over time, the project evolved and took on a life of its own.
Love to hear the trumpet blowing in my ear, man. Oh my God, man.
What makes this creature even more unique is that it captures the stories of the Bronx people. Over 30 children, artists, and community leaders were interviewed for countless hours for the making of this project.
There's two ways to do what I want to do. Either you craft a very, very, very special spoon to put into a pot in order to stir what's in the pot, or you throw the whole pot out the window.
Franz Jerome, who was born and raised in the Bronx, gave his testimony as a member of the community and performed with the Creature Choir.
Writing these rhymes to get a buzz like bees' nests. The Bronx is not listened to well enough. If you walk around the Bronx, people always want to say something because they want to be heard and they have a story to tell.
12 inspirational members of the Bronx were asked about themselves, the borough in which they live, thought-provoking and challenging questions. The questions all similar, but the answers as diverse as the borough itself.
I heard stories of real hardship, pain, suffering, and a lot of sadness that people experienced in the Bronx, but also real incredible stories of resilience, pride, strength, and joy.
I love you so that you can talk about my dad, because I grew up without a father.
For Marta Rivera, the project provided an outlet for her to share a personal story in her life, not just with Mark, but with the audiences that would hear it around the world.
My oldest child was killed by a gunshot in the street.
When someone shares a story, other people can relate to it and come to terms with their issues. I think it's just going to help people.
I started devoting my life to working with young people.
Resilience is very strong in people in the Bronx. Like it's, I guess, a tough place to live, but it's also breeds a kind of a strength in people.
For Mark, it was important to capture the stories of people from different generations.
I think the monsters are great and not so great.
When people realize that they're not just watching a film and listening to music, but they're actually seeing their own face on that image or hearing their own voice, I think there is a sense of empowerment.
The Bronx is just as vibrant and ready to speak as any other place in the world. if anything, it tells folks the Bronx has survived so much and has still come out with this brilliant tapestry that an artist from Australia can tap into and bring everywhere else.